Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
The sports world has been going crazy recently. From more trade rumors to chaos in Week 9 of football, we'll be going over everything that happened recently. Starting off with the Drew Holiday trade rumors, what are your thoughts on this, Jacob?
I think it's going to be a big loss for the Pelicans if they give up Drew Holiday. He is by far the best player on that team. I don't want to hear any of Zion Williamson. He's the best player on the Pelicans. No, absolutely not. That's BS. If anybody says
that is quite BS.
If you think that you're Zion Williamson, you're either don't follow the NBA or you're a 10-year-old little boy. One or the other. So I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. Drew Holiday is a top 5 shooting guard. He's one of the best two-way players in the game right now. He can do pretty much everything there is in the game.
Yeah.
That's what makes him special. So there's a lot of teams that I think would be great with him. One team that I think would, since I know they're trying to rebuild, they're trying to trade pretty much everything, the Clippers. I think that if they were to trade a couple pieces to get him at the shooting guard position, he would be great. Even though Patrick Beverley, he's a great defender, he's not great on offense.
He's just a good three-point shooter, and that's about it.
Yeah, but also
and even that, he's mediocre.
Exactly. He's also very hot-headed. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday knows how to keep his cool, but at the same time still play elite defense and great offense, which is something the Clippers will need. The two other teams that come to mind that need a player like him is the other LA team, the Lakers. If they don't end up getting Chris Paul or Derrick Rose, get Drew Holiday. He's that guy you need on your team. And the Knicks. The Knicks just need something.
The Knicks need everything. That's what the Knicks need. And even with that, they'd still probably lose.
Exactly. James Dolan just has to leave. That's the only way for them to win.
As long as Dolan's there, they're not going to do anything.
He's been I'm not even going to get into how bad he's been for the Knicks. He has destroyed the Knicks franchise and made them a laughing stock over the last 20 years.
Longer than that. Well, yeah. Actually, that's not true. Not longer than that, but.
I mean,
20 years. Yeah, 20 years.
About 2013, when Melo was there, was the best thing. When they had Melo, Linsanity, Tyson Chandler.
Also, when they got to the finals as the 8th seed, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I like Latrell Sprewell, probably one of the best things he did.
He was great, but it was the early on years where it was good, and then it just
went downhill.
It just started to fade out. But going back to Drew Holiday, I definitely think he has so much talent, and I don't want to see it being wasted away in New Orleans, because even though he's a great player and he is the star player on that team, he is not getting enough recognition. They're going to be playing Brandon Ingram, Zion, Lonzo, JJ Redick, Derek Favors. They have a lot of guys, Jackson Hayes. They have a lot of guys on that team, and we're not going to see Drew Holiday play to his full potential like he could. So if I were the Pelicans, don't trade him away. Keep him, trade other pieces. But if I'm any other team, try and get him.
By the way, do you guys remember? Do you remember that viral photo that came out when Zion in the gym?
Yes.
I have a complete feeling that was photoshopped. I'm pretty sure it was photoshopped.
I mean, look at the guy though. Look at him. He's like if Thanos was a person.
No, we all know who Thanos is.
Yeah. I mean, it's Zion. Literally.
Or Mr. Karen Wallach.
Oh my God.
All right, but about Drew Holiday. Let's move on to our next topic.
Let's talk about Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo of the
Antetokounmpo.
The Milwaukee Bucks have said that they're expecting Giannis to sign the Supermax in the beginning of the season.
He needs to wait it out. Giannis, do not sign the Supermax right now. Wait it out. Please wait it out. You don't know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, what teams do you think he should go to? What do you think he should be?
I think he should go to the Golden State Warriors now. If he went to the Warriors, that would be scary. But at the same time, it would obviously be the best for his career. And if they played Giannis at center, that would just be scary.
Oh my God.
Yeah, to the Heat, I hope not.
Imagine this. Imagine a lineup of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Giannis, Draymond Green, and a potential James Wiseman.
Or 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 Andrew Wiggins at the sixth man.
Or
With Andrew, like we can hate on Andrew Wiggins as much as we want. If Andrew Wiggins is your best guy on the bench, that is definitely something.
yeah,
We can't forget that this guy is a 20 plus point per game scorer. And that maybe he's just a good scorer. He played good defense with the Warriors and he was doing really good.
I'm saying though, and this may be a hot take, if he goes to the Warriors or the Heat, he will not win any more MVPs
Oh, yeah.
at
Well,
all.
if he'll have a chance with the Heat. With the Warriors, definitely not for the fact that Curry's still going to be the primary ball handler.
Hmm.
I don't even know how good he'd fit with the Warriors. That's why I think
Yeah,
Weissman will be a much better fit. First off,
I feel it. Yeah, I think he'll be because the thing with him, right? The Bucks system was mostly give the ball to Giannis.
yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. It was a
Or just
lot
give
of
the ball to Chris Middleton and let him shoot just stupid shots.
yeah. I mean, what Giannis's main system is what a lot of what LeBron's system was for much of his career. When especially on his first time with the Cavs, it was give the ball to LeBron and just let him do his thing. Right now, it's give the ball to Giannis and let him do his thing, and that's what it is probably going to be. I mean, if once he goes to a team like the Heat are a great all around team. The Heat know how to complement each other so well, and I feel like it's not going to be as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. It would be weird. It would be definitely different. They'd also have Giannis at the power forward. Again, scary, but
Yes,
I think Giannis's best fit is back at the staying in Milwaukee, and I really don't think he should stay. I think he should go somewhere else. I think that the Bucks are a good organization, but I think that there's always better.
they don't have enough pieces.
Yeah, they don't. And with Giannis there, they're going to keep winning, and they won't get lottery picks.
Hmm.
But also if he will secure the bag, no matter what happens. Giannis is going to get a ton of money, and if he
Oh,
signs with Milwaukee, he'll get probably like 250 million.
oh my
I
God,
think that's what it was. Isn't that
Supermax.
isn't that ridiculous?
That is crazy.
Crazy. But to the next topic. Mr. Gordon Hayward talking with the Raptors and the Pacers, the
Ooh,
biggest rivals of the Celtics. Your thoughts?
I think it's a good idea for him to go to. I mean, think about it. Think about it like this, right? The Celtics, they could potentially make it to the finals. They potentially could have made it to the finals last year. They just didn't have enough, obviously.
I don't think they would have won against the Celtics or oh my goodness. I don't think they would have won against the Bucks or the Heat. Even
No.
if the Bucks made it, they would have lost.
Yes. But for Gordon Hayward, right? He's an excellent player. Even though he's not his all-star self and he's not the same since his injury or what he was like on the Jazz, we're probably never going to see that again, but he's still an excellent starter. And I think he's been very underrated and he's been very underappreciated for what he's been able to do on the court. Now, a team like the Pacers, they really need they I feel like it's not that they shouldn't go after Gordon Hayward. I think he would do well on that team. I just don't think it should be their main purpose right now. I think the Pacers need to work on getting a main guy, a top 10, top 15 franchise guy to build around because they don't have anybody like that. They don't have Gordon Hayward won't be like that either. TJ Warren was a bubble guy. That was him. He wasn't going to be anything else. So they
Even though
need
TJ Warren was phenomenal in the bubble, that was just crazy.
yes, they need to find a player they can either pick up in free agency either this year, next year, or someone they can trade for. But in terms of Gordon Hayward with the Pacers, still try to get him because he's going to help no matter what.
Yep, he's a good player,
Yeah,
and maybe a shell of his former self, but still very good.
yeah. But for him, I think if he wants to win, I think he should stay with the Celtics.
I guess, but Celtics do have a good chance. They probably will win a ring in the next 10 years at least.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Um,
trying once they get a center, that's all that's pretty much
that's literally all they need. Once they get a center, oh goodness, the East should be scared. But unless Giannis is still there,
well,
I
yeah,
yeah,
it's very
Giannis
feasible.
is the kryptonite for basically everything.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the NFL world and week 9.
Oh my goodness, this is so.
This year
This is just ridiculous.
it continues to be entertaining and just crazy cuz everything has been so unexpected. Absolutely everything. I want to start out with the two running backs that have been that played amazing today. First off, Dalvin Cook with his monster game, and then Christian McCaffrey with his return, and again another monster game where he almost won but was able not to what wasn't able to secure it. So
And unfortunately, something about an injury in his ribs, which happened right after the game. Or it was a shoulder injury, it says.
hopefully it's not too bad. But what are your thoughts on both of their games?
That, like, first off, Dalvin Cook, the fact that he's been able to do this production in the past, like, in 2 games, ridiculous. Like, he averaged 9.4 yards a rush. He had 206 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 receptions. Still ridiculous. Dalvin Cook, like I said, best pure rushing running back.
Yes.
He's just so ridiculous, and like you said about Christian McCaffrey, maybe not the best on the rushing end, but 10 receptions. That's a lot of receptions.
I mean, he's that guy though. He's that
Yeah,
guy that will get it both on the rushing and receiving end. He had 105 receiving yards, a rushing and a receiving touchdown. We saw him do that last year as he had 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards.
pretty tough to do.
Unbelievable for any running back to do. It's extremely tough. And I think for him coming back after that injury, that was great. It was a great game. Even though they didn't win, he definitely had a great game. And Dalvin Cook, like you said, you were telling me before the podcast that he was a potential MVP candidate. He will probably not win because, there's Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, Patty, Russell Wilson. But should he be a top 5 consideration? Yes. If he can continue to play, obviously he won't be able to get 206 yards
Yeah.
and touchdowns each game. But if he can continue to have a successful next few games as we're going to close out the season, as we're more than halfway done, I could see him finishing in top 5.
He's eyeing that first team All Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Probably locked it in actually too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, next topic. The Dolphins.
Woo!
Your thoughts?
Surprised. Very, very
Extremely
surprised to say the least. I know that we both had the Cardinals winning this, and I don't know what was going on. We've always been talking about Kyler Murray and his connection with DeAndre Hopkins. We didn't see that today.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins had an off game. It was weird.
He wasn't really getting it that much. He had 3 receptions for 30 yards, which 30 yards is good, but still, come on, man. I mean, it was sad.
Plus, he had 3 receptions, so that's
I
10
had him
yards.
I had him on my fantasy team. I
Yeah.
needed him to do better. Come on.
Well, it's looking like you're gonna lose, buddy.
So are you. So you can't be complaining.
Yeah, I'm losing. I'm losing a hog shark.
But I mean, with the Dolphins, we're looking at. I don't really think that they're gonna have that good of a chance at making the playoffs, right? I mean, looking at their season, right? The next few games they have, the only games I could really see them losing is the Chiefs, maybe the Raiders, and maybe the Bills, depending on how Josh Allen can play. If he can play how he played today, this week, they'll probably lose. But I mean, I think they've had a successful season, whether or not they make or miss the playoffs. This is a great season for them, much, much better than last year. We've seen Tua Tagovailoa come out and show how he's a special quarterback.
But
And
he is the Giannis Antetokounmpo of the NFL in the way that you pronounce their name.
well, people are going to start to get used to that.
Yeah.
Tua,
It's like we could say Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua
You'll get there.
Tagovailoa.
You'll get there.
Yes, sir.
Tua Tagovailoa. He's going to be a household name. I can tell you that he is special. He had 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, a little bit of rushing yardage, but overall, great. So, what were your thoughts on the Dolphins?
Dolphins are going nuts. And you know what? Mr. Shanker?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a possible wild card here for the Dolphins.
Woo!
Possibly. It depends on how the Colts do. Because the Ravens are locked in. I don't think the Raiders are going to keep doing as good. The Colts, their schedule, I'm going to be honest here, the Colts have a really hard schedule. They have to face the Titans twice. They have to face the Packers, the Raiders. They'll probably win that one. Texans twice. I think Deshaun Watson will pull something out for one of those. And then the Jaguars, they'll win. Steelers, they're not winning. There's no way they're beating the Steelers.
No.
No way. Steelers are way too good on defensive end. Their offense will get shut down.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Oh my God. I expect
He's trash.
He really is. Today with his 227 yards and 1 interception. Wow. Honestly, the Ravens defense are maybe the best in the NFL. Right?
Well, possibly, yeah. The 3 teams that I'm eyeing right now are the Steelers, Ravens, and Colts for defense-wise.
Yeah, with the Steelers though, it's mainly their defensive line. They have probably, I think, in my opinion, the best rushing defense in the league. The passing defense is still above average, but the Ravens have it all around. They have the rushing and the passing defense, which sets them apart from the Steelers for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean.
As we're talking about them right now, let's get into the Pittsburgh Steelers as they continue on their undefeated streak after winning after winning Week 9 and beating the Cowboys and going 8-0.
The Trash Boys.
Hey, they had Garrett.
We love them
Gilbert.
Dallas Cowboys.
Garrett Gilbert got a touchdown. You cannot tell me that they're trash. All right. Where do you have the Steelers? Do you see them potentially going undefeated this year?
Possibly. I'm probably looking at them, and they'll probably, looking at their schedule. Oh, I just exited out of their schedule. They have relatively easy. They have the Ravens, they have the Bills, and then they have the Colts. Those are 3 matchups. Possibly. I don't see them losing any of the other matchups. Maybe if they want to rest people week 17 against the Browns, they can lose that. But if they didn't rest anybody, I'm eyeing probably 14-2, 15-1. Possibly, no. Slight chance of 16-0. If it happens, no shocker. If they did anything under than 13, if they did 13 and under though, I would be surprised.
If they did anything 15 and under, if they did anything 14 and under, I'd be surprised.
Well, even still, 15-1 and 14-2 is really good.
Yeah, but let's look at their schedule. Their biggest opponent is the Ravens, right? The Ravens, they have to look out for. The Bills, they should eye on, see how Josh Allen is going to play. But even if their defense is scary.
Yeah, right? It
doesn't matter.
It's scary. Oh.
But the rest of their team, the rest of the games that they play are not going to be hard. They can easily win those. They play the Bengals, they play the Browns. Like you said, they play the Colts, Jaguars, football team.
Your local football team. Your local football team.
They have nothing bad about this team. Everything is great. So I think they're going to go undefeated. I really do.
Possibly, yeah. I also wouldn't be surprised though if they did. But let's get on to the next topic, Mr. Josh Allen. Sorry, Josh, we were down you last week. You clearly proved us wrong again.
Oh my God. We called it way too soon. He had a monster game against the Seattle Seahawks as
terrible defense, but still very, very good.
Yeah, but the Bills defense played really well today. They like really, really well. I know Tre'Davious White did get hurt, but they got the sacks, they got the fumbles, they got the interceptions against the potential MVP winner, right? But you got to hand it to Russell Wilson. He still had a great game. He had 3 touchdowns, 390 yards in passing. So even though he didn't play as well as he normally does, because he did have 4 turnovers this game, he still had a great game. And it was pretty much the defense. It was the Seahawks defense. I mean, they do not have a good defense,
Terrible. It's terrible, especially without Jamal Adams, which
especially.
really helps them.
I mean, he doesn't hurt them, right?
Well, yeah, he gets them a lot better.
Exactly. So I think that's the one thing when we were talking about our top teams in the NFL, the one reason I can't put the Seahawks on top is because of their defense.
And
And
their
today
offense is or their offense is awful. No,
their
their
defense.
offense is ridiculous.
Yes. There you go. Third time's a charm.
I,
I mean, for Josh Allen though, the way that he's able to lead that Buffalo Bills team, he's able to be just a great leader that they needed. Their savior over the past decade. That is their guy. That has been the guy, and he's going to be a generational quarterback. As he can progress, and if he can be more consistent throughout the rest of the year, he's going to be unbelievable.
he's going to be really good. Really, really good.
All right, let's go on to the man himself as our final topic of the day, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Thoughts on this close win against the Carolina Panthers?
Ridiculous. He continues on his 4+ touchdown streak of 2. So no interceptions again. Tyreek Hill making a statement. He doesn't throw interceptions. Only 1. That's pretty ridiculous, if you ask me. He's probably on pace, if he can keep this up. He's probably on pace for 40 touchdowns or 35 plus.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. Patty Mahomes is a GOAT contender in the future, in my opinion. If he can win those rings, he has a chance of being better than Tom Brady.
If he can be as consistent as he's been in the past few years, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
MVP. Then he goes to Super Bowl champ. And he may be Super Bowl champ again this year.
Yep, maybe. And possibly he still has another chance for MVP. Like, he's still got the pieces.
Like you said, the Chiefs have everything. If they can continue to keep this team and just build upon it, they could be one of the best teams of all time. They're going to have Patrick Mahomes for a decade.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing
ridiculous. Plus, they have Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce, insane. He had a really good game today.
He has so many people he can throw to. Like you
Exactly.
said, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now Le'Veon Bell is here. Even though he hasn't been doing as much, he's still there. They are magnificent. They really are.
Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if he's not the best for the MVP. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the world. I change my mind.
I think he could. Do you think he could potentially beat Russell Wilson to maybe even be MVP?
You know what? I'm not going to rule that out because Russell Wilson has 8 interceptions. He has 1, and he only has 3 less touchdowns.
There are 3 people I have for MVPs.
Plus, also, Patrick Mahomes very quickly. He has more passing yards, and his rating is only down by about 1, and the completion percentage is only by 4.
Yeah, I mean,
the interceptions is the only thing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say my 3 quarterbacks that I have for my top 3 spots. That nothing will change. These 3 guys, I know one of them will win it. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes.
What about Ben DiNucci?
Scrap that. Ben DiNucci wins it all.
Yes, sir.
Trace McSorley and him will be contending against each other.
Trace McSorley. All right.
That's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts were on Week 9 and our talks for the offseason in the NBA.
Tune in to the next episode on Friday. See you guys next time.